Hello and welcome back to another Sim Sunday. Today we're in Phoenix Sky Harbour International Airport in Phoenix, Arizona. And in this episode I plan to take you on a short 1-hour flight across to Palm Springs in California. And as you can see, we're doing this in the gorgeous blue livery of Southwest Airlines. And of course we're flying the gorgeous PMDG 737-700, the workhorse of Southwest Airlines. Personally, I've never flown Southwest, but I think everyone in aviation will accept that Southwest Airlines set the benchmark for low-cost air travel worldwide. And despite their challenges with the MAX 8 grounding and of course the pandemic, I've no doubt that Southwest will come bouncing back as the United States' largest low-cost airline and of course the quirky, fun airline that they've become well known for. Right as I edit this video, I realised that I'd forgotten to take a screen capture of my SimBrief session for this particular flight across to Palm Springs. But to cut a long story short, I stupidly accepted runway 08 on my departure today via SimBrief, a decision that I would come to regret, and I'll show you why in a few minutes. I'd have been much better requesting runway 07 left, a much closer runway to the Southwest terminal. Anyway, we join this flight at pushback as we begin this very interesting short flight to Palm Springs.
Southwest 65. Southwest 3259er, taxi holding flight certain runway 8, using taxiway Delta Tango, Charlie, 1 Bravo 1, contact tower on 118.7 when ready.
Okay, as we taxi towards runway 8 here at Phoenix Sky Harbour, it's time to tell you a little bit about the scenery that I'm using on this flight. The scenery that I'm using here in Phoenix is from Flightbeam Studios, one of my favourite scenery developers, in this case for prepared 3D version 4.5. I think over the years I've managed to acquire all of the Flightbeam Studios scenery that's available for North America, and I would certainly pitch their quality the same sort of level that you would find with FS Dream Team. When we get to Palm Springs, you will see the Palm Springs airport scenery from Orbx, and I have to admit that the quality of all of the scenery products that I've ever bought from Orbx is first class. Okay, as you can see now, because I've chosen to take runway 08 here at Phoenix, I'm having to cross practically the entire airport. And of course runway 08 is a single runway being used for takeoffs and landings simultaneously. And of course this can mean significant delays in a busy airport such as Phoenix. You just have to look at the number of aircraft that's being generated by ultimate traffic today, and I can already tell that it's going to be a long wait before I get clearance to take off. And as I approach the runway threshold, you can see the challenge that I have ahead of me. I even tried to take a sneaky shortcut, which you've seen me do plenty of times before on the channel, but I'm afraid that didn't work either due to the sheer volume of traffic being vectored to final on this runway 08 at Phoenix. I hadn't realised that after uninstalling Ultimate Traffic 2 Beta and then reinstalling UTL Live version 1.2, I had never corrected the traffic volumes slider, which meant that I was sitting at 100% traffic. And at one point there was something like 10 aircraft cleared to land, which was extremely funny to watch, but also completely unrealistic. As one aircraft landed, the next was ordered to go around, and also the one after that. And I'm confident in the real world this would never happen. So to cut a very long story short, I was waiting quite a long time here at runway 8 to be given clearance to depart.
Southwest 3259er, 11 Sierra, cleared to land, runway 8. Runway 8, American 586. Cleared to land, runway.
And yep, after nearly 20 minutes of waiting, it was my turn to depart on runway 08 here at Phoenix. But I had to be quick because the next aircraft had been cleared to land, so it was on less than a 6-mile final.
American 2, 378, Sky Harbour Tower, continue approach, runway 8, altimeter 3005. Continue
On runway 08.
Absolutely no idea what happened on that departure, but it seemed to me that the aircraft just wanted to fly before V1. Anyway, getting on to the interesting approach into Palm Springs, and you're probably asking me what is so interesting about the approach into Palm Springs. As you'll see shortly, Palm Springs is surrounded on three sides by mountains, and to the south, of course, there is the lake. But the real challenge comes when you look at the airfield itself. There is no ILS, and the escape route to the north requires you to take a tight right-hand turn to avoid the terrain. And that's why I've always found Palm Springs a little bit trickier than some of the other airports that Southwest fly into. So in this flight, I'm planning an RNAV approach into runway 31 left. However, due to spacing with another aircraft ahead of us, I took the decision to break off the approach and do a left-hand 360 over the city before rejoining the RNAV to 31 left. So that's it, guys. Let's jump forward now to our approach into Palm Springs KPSP.
Altimeter setting. Approaching 3, 1, left.
Approaching minimums. Minimums. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20, 10,
1,200 meters remaining.
Southwest 3259er, contact ground on 121.9er.
Welcome to Palm Springs, California, and I have to admit that I'm actually pretty happy with that landing. However, I'm sure when the real Airbus pilot gets an opportunity to watch this video, he'll give me a list of improvements to make on my next 737 approach. Anyway, even if I say so myself, I was quite happy with that approach into Palm Springs. And as we taxi to the gate, it will be time to bring another episode of Sim Sunday to a close. And of course, if you're enjoying these videos, the real Airbus pilot and I would be extremely grateful if you'd please remember to hit the subscribe button. So until the next video, thank you very much for watching. And wherever you're flying to next in your virtual flight sim world, don't forget to fly safe.